Evers made a pit stop in Superior today to get a first-hand look at road conditions there. He says it's his mission to help improve Wisconsin's infrastructure. Northern News Now's Taryn Simmons shares what the governor had to say while spending some time repairing the local potholes himself.
Simple things like if the roads are real rough, people are going to have to take their car in to be repaired more often.
Governor Tony Evers has made it his mission to help fix Wisconsin roads, improving both local roads and highways across the state. This is Evers' fourth year in a row touring the state on what he calls pothole patrol. The governor says since 2019, his administration has helped improve 7,400 miles of road and nearly 1,800 bridges. Joel Nilsestoon with the State of Wisconsin Department of Transportation understands the conditions of Superior roads and has a hope for long-term change.
The governor's delivered 3 good transportation budgets on the road. The president has brought part the bipartisan infrastructure law bill. And as a result, communities like Superior are seeing their funding doubled to be able to go towards fixing potholes.
He says that Superior and Wisconsin residents as a whole rely on their road conditions to live and work.
Lots of industries, dairy, agriculture, logging, mining, all of those require goods to get from point A to point B, and so we need a strong road network to be able to make that efficient and safe.
Last year, Evers approved funds to help improve the state's roads and infrastructure using the local road improvement program and the new agricultural road improvement program.
We've made more investments in the last 5 years that I've been governor than any time in our previous history.
Targeting one pothole at a time. In Superior, I'm Taryn Simmons, Northern News Now.
And so far, Governor Evers says the infrastructure investment has improved 900 miles of road, more than 200 bridges last year alone.